Looks like we're live. Craze mate, congratulations, you're first.
Do you really need your brake fluid flushed? Or is your mechanic trying to scam you into some totally unnecessary service? Well, the easiest way to tell is just to grab yourself one of these cheap little brake fluid testers on Amazon and
See if there's any new muscle mommy content. Appears that there is.
Where's vodka? I have no control, okay? My hands. Oh my god, don't do it. Please, please don't. So we just parked at not a mall but Makra parking lot. So just about to go shopping. Grocery.
Amazing Atheist did a video about fucking vegan teacher. Dodo any tillers, please react. Thought he had some good takes.
So many of you are asking, Pat, if you were to become the president, what are some policies you would be passing? I got some ideas here to share with you. You're going to think I'm crazy on some of them. One on immigration. Some of you will lose your mind when you hear what I want to do with immigration and the border. I got one with 65-year-olds. Guess what? I want them to work till 70, and you'll find out why. Another one is Big Pharma, what I would do with them. Bunch of different incentives and one unique program at the end. I give you some of the numbers on the last program I want to talk about. Anyways, again, my ideas, if you don't like it, debate it in the comment section, but these are my ideas if I were to become the president. All right, so let's get into it. If you get value out of this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Number one, my biggest problem is with our incentive program. To me, the compensation structure, when you work for a company has a benefits plan, right? What they pay you, commission, health insurance, 401k, all that stuff. The tax code is our compensation structure. Depending on how they create the comp plan, the tax structure is how the American people adjust to get the incentive. So first thing I would do is stop financially rewarding women having kids out of wedlock. If you want to have kids out of wedlock, there's no more tax benefits for you. There's no more.
Oh my god, dude. That is so fucking stupid. That's not going to stop people from having kids out of wedlock, you idiot. That's just going to ensure you have more fucking women and children in abject poverty.
More food stamps. There's no more welfare for you. I know you're not going to like it. I'm not going to incentivize that because that's not good for the U.S. economy. We need fathers in the households. We need moms and dads to be together. Proven statistically, it's better for kids. It's safer for kids, better for the economy. So the incentives will be for that.
Yeah, this is a chicken or the egg kind of scenario. Why the fuck do you think these people are broken up in the first place? So it's, I guess you could call it survival bias. The families that you see that are together are doing better than the families that are apart because they're just better relationships. It has nothing to do with any inherent benefit of just being together with someone else. Frank Tefano donated $2. What's the context for this? A little autistic. Why were you so pissed? Destiny reacted.
You know how much stuff is made with corn? Corn's in almost everything you eat.
No, it's not. Are tomatoes? Okay, so tomatoes are made of corn. Let's see, what else do I eat? Do you want me to get, like, all the shit I eat out of my fucking cupboard? How about this?
Yeah, bring it all. Bring your whole icebox, dude. Roll it up.
Let's see, we got some soy protein isolate right here. I eat this every day. We got lentils. This is the bulk of my diet. Got oats here. Got nutritional yeast. Tell me, which of these fucking products contain corn, dude? Huh? I eat corn?
Hey, go get the rest of it.
Really? Okay, okay, let's see, fucking corn. Corn. The goddamn corn, dude. Tell me where the fucking corn is. I don't know.
don't know. Where somebody
That guy just pissed me off. I can't really tell you why.
link me the Vosh streamable clip. I see people linking in kick chat about him.
Thanks for the donation, Trank Fafano.
So what does this mean? If you have 3 or more kids per year, we're going to give you tax incentive every year. Only if you're married to the same wife, you guys have 3 kids together. After the 3rd one, there's a tax incentive we'll give you for the 18 years.
What kind of tax incentive is this gonna be? Like, what the fuck? Dude, having that many fucking children is massively fucking expensive. So, the only people that are gonna benefit off of this are probably going to be like people who can afford that in the fucking first place, and there's no way you're gonna be able to give practically anybody enough money for it to be worth it.
It's so good to see you back on your use oil scad. You'll also react to this.
Let me take a look.
Vote buying has always been a calling card of most corrupt governments in the world, from Latin America to Nigeria to Zimbabwe. It's a pretty simple transaction. The government gives you cash and you vote for them. This is familiar territory in the third world. And speaking of the third world, we have a lot of these kinds of schemes in our country. Student loan debt has been at the center of many of these schemes, and the schemes are always incredibly stupid. So, for example, 3 years ago, the government put a pause on student loan payments because of COVID. For some reason, COVID meant that you shouldn't have to pay your student debt back.
Yes, because you're supposed to pay off debt when it's literally impossible to work. What a fucking moron.
Even though you still had to pay all of your other types of debt, but student debt was an exception. And Biden, after taking office, proceeded to extend the pause and then extend it again and again and again and again until just yesterday. On Sunday, just 24 hours ago, Joe Biden's 3-year quasi-loan forgiveness program came to an end. All of a sudden, as of yesterday, tens of millions of people who took out massive loans to pay for their college degrees, whether it was a degree in astrophysics or LGBTQIA plus studies or whatever it was, had to start once again making payments on those degrees. You might remember that Joe Biden came out with what was supposed to be a more permanent loan forgiveness plan a few weeks before the last midterm election. He said that the government would permanently forgive, quote unquote, up to $20,000 of federal student loan debt for borrowers. A lot of voters believe that was true, even though the Biden administration knew the plan was never going to hold up in court. You can't just cancel debt. He had no authority to do it.
He absolutely did have the authority. He actually could have just made an executive order, but he didn't.
And somebody in the end has to pay for it. That's the reality. And in this case, predictably, several states went to federal court saying that they have their own student loan programs, which were funded by tax dollars. And these states said that they stood to lose a lot of that money if the Biden administration's plan took effect. As the Supreme Court heard arguments on Joe Biden's plan this year, a swarm of blue and purple-haired activists popped up in Washington, D.C. They made a series of incoherent and frankly hilarious arguments in favor of this student loan forgiveness plan. And here's just one of them, for example. Watch this.
I get paid about $73,000 a year, more than I could have imagined as a young person. I was thrilled to start making a salary after grad school. I thought I'd be rich. And yet I am still drowning in debt. What's worse is it's considered less than many people's debt, only $30,000. I'm lucky compared to a lot of people to only have $30,000 of debt, which we have to admit is unacceptable, right? Right. Yes. This is absurd.
Absurd, yes. Now, if you're paid $73,000 a year, that's a good salary in most of the country.
It's not. Okay, show me somebody who can fucking afford to buy a home making $73,000. Like, that's literally, in a lot of cities, considered, like, the bare minimum just to have a basic apartment. Like, it's not even that good anymore.
A lot of people maintain households on far less money than this graduate student makes. In fact, she's making more than $10,000 above the median household income in states like Oklahoma and Louisiana and other states. But no sane person would ever think that 73 grand is ever going to make them rich. Unless you live in the year 1847 or something, 73 grand does not equate to being wealthy. So why would anyone presume that $70,000 is somehow going to make them wealthy in the year 2023? And perhaps most disturbingly, how did someone with this level of financial illiteracy manage to earn a graduate degree in the first place? The more you watch that video, the more depressing it gets. Here you have.
The problem is, you needed the degree to make that money. So, what are you talking about?
Speaking of destiny, he said he doesn't think the guy who shot the YouTube prankster was justified. I was honestly shocked he had that take. He's usually super pro self-defense. Go to 4 minutes.
I'm actually surprised too. Let me take a look.
Who got shot? Yeah, I would need to see more facts on that case, because I must be missing something. That case was very obviously not justification for lethal self-defense, and the response time from the guy that shot the dude and everything was unbelievable. But apparently he was fully acquitted of all of like the homicide or attempted killing or whatever. Like, didn't he end up just getting charged with discharging a weapon in a public place?
I think that charge was bullshit, by the way. Like, if they're gonna claim that his use of self-defense was justified, I don't know how the fuck he could have gotten that charge. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, like, again, I think considering the fact that the dude was twice his size and acting like an absolute crazy person, totally reasonable for him to have shot the guy.
Yeah, I'm curious if the jury just literally like saw like influencers and they're like, oh, influencer, YouTuber, like shoot him, who cares? Like literally, I feel like that was literally the jury. They just, because it went to jury trial and he didn't get guilty of any of those charges, right? It was insane. Yeah. He just shot the gun destiny. The other guy could have dodged. Did you see Muda's tweet about it? No. Oh, there's no way Muda took a. What did Muda say? Why are we all stabbing in chat? Is Xena typing?
Like, you also have to consider the guy who shot the dude, he was trying to de-escalate. He walked away, and the guy was still harassing him, and it wasn't just that he was, like, following him. He was right up his ass. So, yeah, he was totally justified to shoot the dude. What's up, Aaron? Hope you're doing good today. I'm angry right now for some reason. Doing good overall, but I'm just frustrated. I don't know why I'm so frustrated.
I have a woman who earnestly believes that going through the motions and racking up degrees should lead inevitably to wealth, because that's how you get wealthy. You check a bunch of boxes your whole life and you follow orders. You definitely don't innovate. You don't strike out on your own path. You don't do something different. No, you just follow the program. You go to the classes, you get the piece of paper that says degree, and abracadabra, wealth should just appear. This is the expectation. And shockingly for many people,
what the fuck is he talking about? I don't understand what the fuck he means by any of this. Like, what does he mean by wealthy? Like, is he talking about being a millionaire? Does he mean making 6 figures a year?
My God, what the fuck do people have against self-defense?
There's a lot of pussies who are afraid of loud noises. That's what the issue is. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Appreciate it.
it has not been met. And she's not alone. Here's an NBC News segment from a couple of days ago featuring a salon owner who's really upset that she still owes $4,000 for her community college degree, and that now she's going to have to start paying on it. Let's watch that.
After 3 years of a pandemic pause, federal student loan repayments are set to restart Sunday, 3 months after the Supreme Court struck down President Biden's student loan forgiveness program. Now, many people are facing thousands of dollars of debt, and they say they still have no way of paying it back. NBC News business and data reporter Brian Chung has more.
Josie Bridges is a single mom living paycheck to paycheck. It's hard enough dealing with rising prices at the store.
My student payments are sitting right now at about $400 is what they're expecting each month. So, I mean, that's my food budget right there.
The pandemic freeze on student loan payments allowed Josie to open up her own salon in Portland, Oregon. But with $4,000 in outstanding debt from her community college degree, she says she simply won't be able to make the payments once they resume in October.
It's kind of out of my hands at this point. If I can't make
To be fair, I think she's full of shit. I think she could probably afford to pay.
it, I can't make it.
It's a game changer.
The Biden administration's plan to forgive up to $20,000 in student debt would have wiped Josie's slate clean. Instead, a challenge from 6 Republican states resulted in a...
Here's the fucking problem. When you're talking about education, the benefit you get to letting people just off their debt is going to inject more money into the economy versus forcing them to pay off their debt. So it ends up being a net loss. So it would have benefited everybody anyway if there was loan forgiveness.
The Supreme Court decision in June striking...
Have you seen this waste of oxygen's video? Ron DeSantis' smile has more sincerity than this fuckwad's video. I have zero belief he actually even tried a day.
Imagine a world where you're basically at the pinnacle of health.
Well, you cannot go vegan for 30 days.
You regularly train hard, always sleep 8 hours, eat a well-balanced diet with...
Trank Fafano donated $2. You should get one of these cuties and feed them vegan food and fruits and vegetables.
Went right for the tomatoes. He liked the yellow, and the funny part is that's not... Whoa, he's just cleaning the plate. Jolly Green is regular Colombian iguana. At one point, we had a little problem with him. He had kind of combating with another male. They commonly will look across the room and see another male and bounce their head around. Brown bananas have much more vitamins and everything in them than the green ones or yellow, and so we always from now on are going to let them turn the right color, because you know what, actually if you're ever growing one up, they're actually can be very... There you go, see.
I was thinking of adopting an iguana, and I looked into it. You can find quite a few people trying to rehome iguanas here. They can be pretty aggressive. And since we have a bunch of other pets, I figured it probably would be too much of a risk. Like, they can bite, so... Yeah, I figured I just wouldn't get an iguana, but they are very beautiful. It looks like a really nice iguana, too, eating his veggies. Thanks for the donation, Trank Fafano.
Plenty of high-quality protein, fruits, and veggies. You're sub 10% body fat year-round, you're strong, lean, muscular, you love the way you look, and you love the way you feel. Then imagine, just as everything's going perfect, you completely change the way you eat and your head goes vegan. You need to watch this video. No, being vegan is when you entirely eliminate animal foods from your diet. No meat, fish, chicken, eggs, dairy. I noticeably felt and visibly saw my health declining just after 10 days. I was constantly hungry even though I was eating over 4,000 calories a day sometimes, and I never felt full. And definitely one of my biggest...
He is so full of shit, it's unreal.
...concerns and hardest parts about being vegan was getting enough quality protein and nutrients. Because I wanted to eat real food.
I'm pretty sure I'm bigger and stronger than this guy. He looks like a fucking, like, 5'5" man. What are his, what are his lifts at? 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's struggling to deadlift 405? Okay, it's 455. So he did 455 for a single there. Oh, wait. So this is 450 for 3 sets of 5. Or no, I think that was 460 he was doing. So 10 pounds lighter, but sets of 5. Yeah, you can't get enough protein on a vegan diet, but I'm bigger and stronger than you. Okay. Let's see what he does.
60s, 10 with the 70s, 10 with the 80s. And look at how long have you been working out? I know Raider discussed a little bit about being able to grind through or stream. Makes sense.
Okay, his deadlift might actually be a little stronger. That might have been like a final rep.
How the fuck can he eat 4,000 calories of plant foods and still feel hungry? You know he's full of shit. There's plenty of vegan bodybuilders including yourself that make him look like a fucking idiot. These anti-vegan people are easy to debunk.
Yeah, he's a liar. He is just absolutely lying.
Well then maybe you should just get a tortoise instead.
Well, I mean, I could get a tortoise, but I don't think we have the right setup here for a tortoise. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. I'm just gonna leave a comment here. You're obviously lying in this video. There's no way you are eating 4,000 calories per day, all plant. Let's see, tortoise.
When we got Tiptoe, we had absolutely no idea how big he would be. I got Tiptoe when I was 7 years old.
It's a really beautiful turtle. If I got a tortoise, though, it would outlive me. That's the only problem.
From Santa Claus. I had put him at the very top of my
Wow.
Christmas list, and I just needed a tortoise. I really did.
Look at him munching his lettuce.
This morning, he is dining on some dandelion.
Oh my
greens. These are one of his
God.
favorite dark leafy greens to have. But yeah, Tiptoe was not
Oh
supposed to be this
my
big.
God.
Santa brought me the most adorable,
He's a really
littlest,
cute
littlest
turd.
lad. This is
Oh
Tiptoe.
my God.
Tiptoe is about a. It really.
He's a really cute turd. Well, thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Imagine a world, and yeah, that may sound funny now, but if you really think about it, if beans and lentils and all other vegan foods are so healthy, why do they give everyone such terrible gas?
You're getting gas from eating beans and lentils because you're not preparing them properly. Simple as that. If you're soaking them and cooking them long enough at a high enough temperature, you're not going to get any significant amount of gas or bloating from eating beans or lentils. It's just fucking bullshit. I fucking hate how this thing feels too high.
That's actually your body telling you, hey asshole, these foods are extremely hard to digest, and I'm gonna punish you with the world's most
They're not hard to digest. You're just not preparing them properly.
better focus and way better sleep. I remember thinking, this was the dumbest idea ever, and I'm actually proud of myself that I made it for 30 days.
It's some kind of beetle. What the fuck is that? I don't know if that's a baby moth on my screen.
Which leads me into, how is a vegan diet actually healthier than a well-balanced diet? It's not.
Well, it is. If you look at the Adventist health studies and the Oxford vegetarian cohort, vegans live longer. So.
Ooh.
Dude, what's funny is people talk shit about me all the fucking time. Like, oh, your diet sucks, you're fat, you're too skinny, this and that. I'm still alive. All these fucking fitness dudes, they're getting cancer, they're fucking just randomly dropping dead, they're getting heart attacks. I can pretty much guarantee you this fucker is going to die before me. It's only a matter of time. I'm going to outlive every fitness fuck on YouTube. They're all going to get cancer. They're all going to get a heart attack. They're all just going to have sudden cardiac death somehow. And then I'm still going to be around, laughing at all of them.
See, the biggest risk with a vegan diet is malnourishment, which I know for a fact I was experiencing just days into the diet. It's a well-known fact vegans are at
How in the fuck are you going to experience malnourishment days into a diet? That's literally physically impossible. What the fuck?
greater risk of anemia and osteoporosis.
Vegans do not have higher risk of anemia or osteoporosis. Where the fuck did he get that idea?
Due to the lack of B vitamins and omega-3s in their diet. This
Omega-3s aren't related to fucking osteoporosis, you retard.
causes fatigue and inability to concentrate, hence why I had brain fog all the time. But it's especially...
I'm fucking done watching this. He's just pissing me off. What a fucking dumbass. Yeah, this idiot's just plain lying. He's full of shit. 3x or dip, blah blah blah, something or other. He doesn't really show a lot of his lifts. I don't think he really does a lot of barbell basics outside of like maybe deadlifts. Yeah, he's a CrossFitter, huh? Okay. That kind of explains why he's so retarded. That's why he doesn't really like train bench much. What a loser.
Taking down the plan after Josie had already put thousands of dollars in investments into her salon.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future, and that's kind of scary.
Now, I'm a big supporter of small businesses. I love it when people go out and do their own thing, start their own businesses, showing that entrepreneurial spirit that once made this country get great. But the message from this report seems to be that Josie took major financial risks on the assumption that the government was just going to wipe away her debt. Unfortunately, the magic debt forgiveness fairy never arrived, and now she's stuck paying back the money that she decided to borrow in the first place. So it's hard to think of a better illustration of the fact that this pause on student loans was a self-defeating and ridiculous and pointless policy. It's the quintessential example of the government kicking the can down the road, which is the only thing they ever do. And in response, predictably enough, many college grads kick the can down the road also.
This was one of the most disturbing channels/videos I've seen on the website. Does this violate any of the terms of service?
I'm not watching that, and yeah, it absolutely would. That is beyond fucked. Hey, Prim. Primmy. Come here. Prim. Little guy.
I think that's fucked up how they try to use that woman's death who starved herself as some kind of evidence that a vegan diet is malnourishing. Not only are they liars but obviously pieces of shit people. That dumbass used her picture. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, he's just a stupid lying cunt. They're all just dumb lying cunts for sure. Like, clearly veganism didn't have anything to do with it. Apparently that woman refused to drink water. Like, she was just crazy. She just was following a stupid diet and she wouldn't even drink water. Thanks for that donation though, Vegan Ninja. Appreciate it.
It's not like most of them have spent the intervening years saving money. Whether it's because of Biden's terrible economy or inflation, or their own reckless spending habits, or some combination of these factors, many of these college grads are now in the same spot they were in when the pause took effect, if not an even worse spot. Now the unpause button is pushed and nothing was accomplished. There's
Dodo Donatillers, what was in that video you descapid, by the way? You mean the video somebody sent me and I refused to watch? Somebody killed a rabbit. I'm not watching that. I'm already in a bad enough mood. But thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Still broke, and they're desperate for more handouts. Now, it's clear that the left is giving up their morals and any common sense. There's no better time than to build a daily habit of prayer and meditation. Building a habit of prayer can help you cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Focusing on what you're thankful for can increase positive emotions and improve overall well-being. Hallow is the #1 Christian prayer app in the U.S. It's helped me maintain a daily prayer routine. It can help you too. Download the app for free at hallow.com/Matt Walsh. You can set prayer reminders and track your progress along the way. Not sure where to start? Check out Father Mike Schmitz's Bible in a Year, available on the Hallow app for brief daily readings and reflections, or pray alongside Mark Wahlberg, Jim Caviezel, and even some world-class athletes. With Hallow, you can customize a personal prayer plan that works for you. Listen wherever you are with downloadable offline sessions. Using Hallow to connect with others who share your beliefs and values can provide a sense of belonging, support, and foster a sense of community as well. Ultimately, we'll learn how we can become better individuals in spite of today's broken world as we strive to become more like Christ in our daily lives. Exclusive you. As I've argued for many years, this idea is flagrantly immoral. It's evil. And it makes no sense. If it's somehow unjust to...
I'm gay.
Well, then maybe you should sub to my OnlyFans. Thanks for the donation, Derek.
To expect a college graduate to pay his own loans, then it is self-evidently much more unjust to expect someone else to pay his loans. Like, someone has to pay the debt, and it only makes sense that the guy who owns the debt should pay it. Everyone, I think, intuitively understands.
Student debt is a lot different than normal debt. With student debt, there's an expectation that they're going to use their education to basically put back into the economy. So if you're going to force people to pay something like student debt, that's going to prevent them from doing entrepreneurial things that would actually inject more money into the economy. So say if somebody has $10,000 worth of student debt, well, that's $10,000 they could put towards, building some kind of business that would generate more money for the economy than just paying off the debt itself. So I don't know why you'd have an interest in having people pay off their loans rather than have some kind of system where this could be like heavily subsidized by the government, where you don't really have to, pay for your education. It's kind of like public school. Imagine if everybody had to pay for public school. You would just have a situation where you would have less of a benefit from education. The net effect is less economic growth. Why would you have an interest in people wasting their money on fucking student debt? It just doesn't make any sense. More people could become more wealthy, and there'd be more money actually going into the economy, rather than just putting it into the pockets of fucking universities that are charging too much anyway.
Stands this point when it comes to most types of debt. But college debt is somehow treated as an exception.
Nah, I haven't seen Fight Club. I had a friend who said that was one of the most overrated movies of all time. Didn't make any sense, and I just never bothered watching it. I don't know if it's any good, but yeah, just a friend of mine who's a big movie buff just told me it's garbage.
That's because the whole scheme is just a form of upper-class welfare. Most student loan debt is held by high-wealth households. More than 60% of it is held by the rich and the upper class. People with graduate degrees account for half of all student debt. So these are, for the most part, upper-class people. And they are looking to get bailed out, and the bailout would inevitably come, in many cases, from people who have less money than they do. And while college grads try to reach their hands into your pocket to take your money to pay off their loans, the real villains in this story get off the hook completely. Villains like the university system itself, which is charging these exorbitant fees for what often turns out to be a useless education. These universities operate like hedge funds, but they're taxed like charities. They've been raising tuition for decades with the help of federally backed loans, and when the students default on those loans, the university owes nothing. The student or the taxpayers have to pay. We've also been letting employers off the hook, as I've pointed out many times. We rarely blame them for needlessly requiring a degree for jobs that can just as easily...
these problems would be solved with debt forgiveness. So why is he complaining about debt forgiveness when that problem could be solved with debt forgiveness?
Easily be done by people without them. Corporate America and the education system, they have created this problem, yet they get none of the blame, and the working class is expected to pick up the bill. It's a tale as old as time. How many entry-level consultants or government bureaucrats really need a $200,000 bachelor's degree to work, an Excel spreadsheet and send some emails? It's absurd. And that last point is the thing that I think is rarely mentioned in the student debt conversation, even though it's the most important point of all. As we see all these college grads weeping over their loan burden, and it is indeed an enormous burden, we rarely state the obvious, which is that most of these people never should have gone to college to begin with. We have people...
I don't know if you could say most. That's a bit of a crazy claim.
Running around with multiple degrees who never needed one. There are people with master's degrees who could have been just as successful, if not more successful, with nothing but a high school diploma.
So he is correct. You don't need a university education, but I don't understand how that's an argument against debt forgiveness. If anything, that's an argument for debt forgiveness, because these people basically got suckered in to paying a stupid amount of money for something that ended up being worthless.
Now, yes, as already covered, some employers have created a sort of artificial demand for a degree, which...
It's just ridiculous. He's basically saying, well, these colleges are fucking scamming you, and you never needed the degree to begin with. So he would rather pay money for a useless degree? Like, what? I don't understand how, if you actually benefit from the degree, it makes more sense to actually have debt forgiveness.
Please put me back on your head, Lionheart.
I don't know if I can do that, but thanks for the donation, Lionheart's toupee.
If you
The source natty or not? Pause at 13 seconds.
smack two heavy metal balls together, the energy of their collision will be focused at such a small point enough heat can be produced to literally burn a hole. Now that didn't happen because I'm so strong, even though I am.
Say not natty, but that is just a drawing. Thanks for the donation, Q.
Means that if you don't go to college, you will not be eligible for those jobs, even though you actually are more than eligible. Like, you could do them, but artificially they're saying that you can't get in the door because you don't have the degree. But there are many other career paths that you can venture down where nobody cares if you have a degree. I am more...
Why would you not be in favor of just increasing people's career opportunities?
Financially successful than most people with doctorates, and my highest level of formal education is 12th grade. So it is possible.
Buddy, you're a fucking YouTuber. Like, get fucking real. What? Like, this is basically like saying, he might as well be FauziTube saying this. I don't have a fucking degree and I'm fucking rich. Like, okay, but you're FauziTube. Like, so stupid, dude.
To find success without a college degree. I know that from experience. Now, I'm not denying that.
You're a fucking YouTuber. Like, no shit, you could do fucking prank videos and make more fucking money than a doctor. Holy crap, what an idiot.
Hurdles that you'll find in your path if you decide to skip college and free yourself from the scam. I also know about those hurdles from experience as well, but the only real long-term solution to the student loan crisis,
dude, what
the
a
only
dummy.
way to put an end to this lunacy, the only path out of this wilderness is for the majority of young people to abandon the university system entirely. That is the only way, and it's the one thing that we don't talk about when we have this conversation. I've been screaming it from the rooftops forever, but more people need to join in the chorus, or nothing's going to get better. Because until that happens, until we see millions of young people going just bypassing the university system completely. They graduate high school and they bypass the system completely, and they go out and they live their lives and they get jobs and they do something else.
So I do agree with him. There probably should be fewer people going to college or university, like significantly fewer. We are creating a culture where arbitrarily we're demanding people get college or university degrees when the jobs they're getting don't require it, just so they have a higher likelihood of getting hired. Like, that is stupid. So yeah, there should be fewer people going to school unless it's a very specialized kind of position where they could benefit from the degree. Like Destiny has a bit of a different take on this, and it's kind of stupid. He's basically saying, oh, well, it shows an employer that you're hardworking and you can learn and you can get stuff done and follow a schedule. It's like, okay, but that's entirely fucking arbitrary. It has nothing to do with whether or not you're capable of, you know, getting the fucking job and doing it properly. So I agree with him there, but again, this problem is also solved by just student loan forgiveness.
Until that happens, tuition will not go down at all. It's only going to go up because there's no incentive for it to go down. The university, why would they lower tuition?
If it's subsidized like crazy, then it would fucking go down.
They know that you could just, they know the parents are going to shuffle their kids into the colleges anyway. They know that you'll pay anything. And so they're going to keep raising the tuition. There's no incentive. And corporate America will continue needlessly demanding degrees for jobs that a well-trained monkey could perform because, again, they have no incentive to stop demanding it. As long as we go along with the program.
Yeah, my advice for most people, if you want to make a good living, get into trades. There's a massive deficit in the amount of trade workers. So you have a guaranteed job that makes really good money, and you can actually make money while getting an education for the trade. But if you want to get into something that's, more specialized, you want to be a physicist or a doctor or a lawyer, then yeah, go to school. Otherwise, yeah, stay out of school.
And the program will not change. That's the simple reality. If people reject the program and they reject the programming, the student debt crisis will eventually become a moot point, a thing of the past. This is really the only path.
Yeah, so what do you think is easier, to tell everybody to not go to fucking university or just have loan forgiveness? Like, I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing for people to go to school anyway. If, like, again, their debt is kind of paid off or it's heavily subsidized. You do make friends, you do make business, you make business contacts. A lot of professors can kind of get you a way into some of these fields. So, like, there are some side benefits. Like the easy solution to me is just to heavily subsidize education. And if it's subsidized, it would be cheaper anyway. You wouldn't see climbing prices. So, yeah. What a non-solution, dude. Okay, let's take a muscle mommy break.
Shopping to show you how a bodybuilder shops. So we have a body there.
It's probably gonna be bad.
Just he went out. Come on. Oh, he's coming.
That's a dog.
Oh. Okay, let's go. I will show you what I usually buy. I don't know, on my prep, off my prep, or just in general. So we will see if it differs from your list. I hope it's not going to be that much of a difference. I hope, okay? Get your wallet ready.
I like the way she dresses. I don't know why, but I like it when girls kind of dress like dudes. Just, you know, t-shirt, shorts, pants, something like that.
So, first things first. Oh, for the tough days. Okay, I'm joking. I'm a bodybuilder, right? So what beer? Damn. I need vodka. Let's go for vodka. Okay. Okay, I'm maybe some of you will tell me that, oh, it's so bad, you don't drink it, it has so much shit in it. Man, when you are on a diet, I'm not on such a tough diet now, but still, it helps, okay? Maybe I will drink 1 can a day, maybe per 2 days. But sometimes I will substitute it, okay? I will substitute it with, I don't know, with some homemade lemonade. This is like for month's supply. You might have some questions about the store. So it's basically in buy in stock shop, not a shop, but like not a mall either. But yes, you buy here, not in stock, but in bulk. Yes, you buy things here in bulk, but to shop here you need a special, not like a permit, but be some, I don't know, cafe. You need convenient if you're a bodybuilder, and if you like, let's say there are 2 of you, or if you're a family.
I acknowledge you, Saga. Keep donating. You're helping the cause for veganism. Your projected hate towards me is a reflection of how much you hate yourself. It's time to fight your demons.
I had the day to get stuff done, but somewhere down the line, the stuff's not done. I wonder why. Your guess is as good as mine.
But don't think that changing your...
Yeah. Thanks for the donation, Lionheart.
From me, so at least I want to have goddamn my favorite energy drink, or sugar-free, anything sugar-free, any sugar-free drink that I love. Okay, so I don't care much about how much shit it has in it. I want it when I'm on a really tough diet. Okay.
Monster Energy.
No, not that. Is it
Monster Energy drinks are pretty dope. I actually like them, as long as they're sugar-free.
Oh, that's gin. Where's vodka? Yes. If you
Really? Oh, Jesus.
have a headache in the morning,
Dude, that is not gonna help a headache.
I always jump onto the stream hoping that it'll be more exciting than the last one. Every fucking time my hopes are dashed as your fat ass just sits there watching these boring ass fitness videos. Fuck off, bitch.
Well, thanks for the donation. I'm Niagara. Appreciate it. I'm going to go get my grip trainers. I'll be right back. You dumb dog.
Ian McCarthy claims he went 13 days without sleep.
I'm pretty sure that's physically impossible. So he might have gotten very little sleep, but that would be just about impossible. If you go, there's no way for you to go that long without sleep without basically going completely insane or just like dropping dead, or like you would just randomly fall asleep. There have been people in war who've been awake for prolonged periods of time where they're in a constant firefight for like, 2, 3, 4 days. You will see people literally just falling asleep randomly. They will just basically faint and then get knocked out. And again, if you don't sleep for a couple days, you're going to start hallucinating like crazy and seeing like really weird shit. There's no way he stayed awake for 13 days straight.
I have had 3 phone chargers stolen in 4 days. So the situation is, bad, very bad. I have not been able to sleep the night in 13 days, subsequent to people who are not me choosing to make no effort to assist me in sleeping. Obviously, I don't have psychiatric medication because anyone who could do anything to help has given up.
I think he's a drug addict. Nothing about his life makes any fucking sense at all. I think he's addicted to drugs and he's just living on the street. Thanks for the donation, though, E.
No, don't go, VG. I love you and take all that back. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, suck me dick, love you, 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 suck me dick, you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you.
Well, that's sweet. Thanks for the donation, I'm Niagara.
1 shot of vodka, and you're good to go. I wish you.
Don't listen to that one guy who said your streams are boring, VG. I'm going through a rough time whereby it's particularly difficult later in the night and your streams have helped me. Good shit, my man.
Well, thank you, Blue. Glad you're enjoying the streams. Appreciate the donation, man. I have a thing where when I think of something embarrassing, it can put me in a tic state, kind of like Tourette's, and I'll spaz out. It's really weird, and you diagnose it. It's not a big deal, though. Yeah, you're probably not watching enough hentai. That would be my diagnosis. You might want to go get, I don't know, go to a doctor if it's really bothering you. Ask about that, but My diagnosis is not enough hentai.
So one thing I hate about going shopping is when you're on a diet, okay? Is when there is a fresh
bread
waiting for you. But I'm not on a such a strict diet now. I just had a chocolate bar recently. So I'm pretending, okay? But yeah. I have no control, okay? My hands. Oh my god, don't do it. Please, please don't. My body doesn't listen to me. No. Oh wait, wait a second. Not soft enough. This is very popular in Czech Republic. That's rohlik, my favorite, okay? So I will get only one. So okay, I'm not a vegetarian, alright? So usually I take something, a big portion, especially when I'm not living alone. And now we eat like crazy. So I think
that is disgusting and horrible.
One will be enough. Get out of here. Which one?
Jesus.
One piece?
You know what's fucked up too? She has a pet parrot. Don't know if she uploaded any shorts here. Oh my god, I fucking hate Instagram. Anyway, she uploads the clips to her stories, but she has a pet parrot, and then she eats like fucking chicken. You know, it's just so weird how you have a bird as a pet, and then you eat fucking birds.
Okay, one is enough. Just chicken breast. Get the fuck out of here. As you can see, I'm trying to get different types of protein. We have beef, we have chicken breast. So another options that I'm gonna buy is going to be eggs, right? Fish, like tuna, my favorite. Maybe cottage cheese.
Cottage
Maybe
cheese
some
is
kefir.
fucking disgusting.
I will show you later, okay? I want Greek yogurt. I think it's over there. Oh, I hope it's here. I just want plain Greek yogurt without anything because I usually add bananas or any other fruit with my Greek yogurt. I don't buy yogurt with the jam.
Today was nuts. Went to a barbecue place today and ordered a vegan seitan sloppy joe, and the couple behind me started asking me why I was vegan. When I asked if they would eat ethical dog meat, they flipped out on me and the guy threatened to beat me up, lol.
That is what you call being a hypocritical fucking pansy. Well, thanks for that donation, Freddy versus Jason Blaha. Appreciate it.
Gems in it because I don't know how much. Usually it's a lot. So when I buy plain yogurt, I have control over how much fructose, sugar I want to eat, right? How much I need to eat. This one. Greek yogurt. You can buy Greek yogurt or you can buy skyr. skyr has even more protein in it. I'll show you like this one. See? Skyr. Much more protein in. And another thing, I've heard and I've seen lots of bodybuilders, not only bodybuilders, but people having problems with their digestive system.
Ellen's latest epic memes simping for Russia is cool and all, but by proxy I've been having to argue with loads of CCP simps, kind of tiring to be hones.
Imagination land. Imagine a vaccine so safe you have to be threatened to take it. For a disease so deadly you have to be tested and know you have it. Oh my god, what a fucking moron. I guess tuberculosis isn't all that dangerous then, since you have to be tested to see if you have it, huh, dumbass? I guess you've never heard of a fucking incubation period? What also is insane about this, during smallpox outbreaks, people would be held at gunpoint to take the smallpox vaccine. A lot of people don't know this, but in the late 1800s, when they developed the smallpox vaccine, they would go from town to town, get the police or military to hold people at gunpoint, and force them to take the vaccine. And the smallpox vaccine was a quote-unquote natural vaccine, so what they do is, it wasn't just an injection. They would get cowpox. Cows would get a type of pox. It was these like bumps and pustules around their udders. They would scrape off cowpox pustules with a knife. Then they would cut your arm open and then jam the cowpox pustules into your arm, into that wound to make sure that you got infected with cowpox to immunize you from smallpox. So, I guess fucking smallpox isn't deadly because people were forced at gunpoint to take it. I guess tuberculosis isn't fucking dangerous because you have to be tested to see if you have it. I guess HIV AIDS is not dangerous because you have to be tested to see if you have it. Imagine being like this fucking retarded. Oh my god, Elon Musk is so dumb. When it's been 5 minutes and you haven't asked for $1 billion in aid. Oh, really? This is coming from the guy whose fucking whole electric car business is only staying afloat because of government aid. Go fuck yourself, fucking loser. Just wait. This guy is going to ask for loan forgiveness because he can't pay off the fucking debt he owes for buying Twitter. Just wait. What a fucking loser, bro. Fucking piece of shit. I can't stand Elon Musk. I hope he just croaks. Thanks for the nation, Darth Putin.
Did you see the amazing atheist's response to vegan teacher's comments about 9/11 being a good thing? TJ makes some pretty bad arguments in this, and to be fair, I don't see eye to eye with VT on this either.
Yeah, we're gonna react to that. I already have that in the queue. Thanks for the donation, though, Gurmit the Gay Frog. Okay, so she eats Blaha diet, basically.
But this is good.
She eats way too much fucking meat.
You can get yourself okay, you can use
She eats way too much fucking meat. Holy shit.
for a salad. Okay, healthy. Oh, you do morning oat, like this one with vibes. Okay, is
Yeah, her diet isn't great overall. Way too much meat, not enough fruits and vegetables, and she should be getting ideally all of her protein from plant sources. Like, she should be eating beans, lentils, tofu, seitan, edamame, stuff like that. But, like, pretty much all of her protein's coming from really bad animal products. Well, that's a shame. Alright, let's watch the Amazing Atheist video.
Have you guys ever heard of this YouTuber called the Vegan Teacher? Has anyone ever heard of the Vegan Teacher before? I normally don't do videos to vegans or whatever, but I saw that there was this entity known as the Vegan Teacher out there, and she makes a lot of content that is designed to irritate, infuriate, annoy, and garner attention for herself. But this was recently brought to my attention.
September.
The COVID-19 vaccine is vegan. I don't know where the fuck you heard that it isn't vegan. It sure as fuck wasn't from me. Did some idiot fucking tell you that, or is that some dumb shit you fucking came up with on your own?
11th. On this day in history.
That's right. She's going there. Here, I'll put myself here. I'll put myself over the pig because I identify with the pig.
Thousands of people were killed. The vast majority of these people had already been killers themselves.
Yeah. That's the line. That's what we're going with, man.
They paid for the rape, torture, confinement, terror, and murder of innocent animals who were in their intestines at the moment the planes crashed into them. Facts don't care about your feelings. These are the facts. Because they died, many animals were saved. Think about this for a moment before you respond.
Okay, I'm going to think about it for a moment before I respond. I'll let you finish while I'm thinking.
You were born vegan.
No. No, I wasn't. How was I born vegan? Because...
So that's something I disagree with. You are not born vegan. You're not born with the belief that animals should have the same rights as human beings. So that is false. I think what she means to say is you're not born with this idea that animals should be harmed for food. That's something that you develop through socialization. But you're certainly not born vegan.
My mother ate meat while I was in the womb. Therefore, that nutrition from that meat was passed along to me via the umbilical cord. And so, no, I was not born vegan.
You never wanted to hurt animals. It's not your fault you were brainwashed to do so, in the same way that the killers who took over the planes were brainwashed.
Okay.
You are no different than them.
I think maybe I am a little bit, though. Because the thing is, I don't feel like me eating a cheeseburger is tantamount to me hijacking a plane and crashing it into a building.
Yeah, you could argue it's worse because you're supporting a Holocaust when you buy meat. When you hijack a plane and, you know, basically aim it into a building, you're committing a terror attack. I'd say the Holocaust is probably worse.
Like you, they were born vegan. They never wanted to hurt anyone either, yet they were taught to do so by a racist species.
Congratulations, Liam, you're banned. You're too retarded to be in my chat, so go fuck yourself.
Society. The good news is that you can go back to your roots and be vegan again. You can stop paying people to hurt animals on your behalf. And the next time you're on a plane, let your last meal there be a vegan one. You can order it in advance when you book your ticket.
Wow. Man. So I am seeing some people in the chat say that this woman is thought of by many to be purely a grifter and an attention seeker, and I can certainly see that. However, I don't really think that this is too far fetched, because I've definitely seen vegans compare photos of chickens in a factory farm to photos of like Jews in the Holocaust and things of that nature, which I think is pretty disgusting and offensive. I've seen them compare the treatment of animals.
Oh my god, this is so monstrously fucking stupid. There are Holocaust survivors who have become vegan activists and have compared the mistreatment of animals to the Holocaust. So when there are people who have literally been in the Holocaust telling you animal agriculture is just like the Holocaust, how in the fuck could that possibly be considered culturally insensitive?
To the treatment of slaves in the American South. I think there's been...
I can't stand his voice anymore.
Years of this kid being raised by you. So if you do 3, tax incentive, 4, tax incentive, 5, tax incentive, only if you're married. Father and mother raising that kid, that's 1 tax incentive. Number 2, 6.
This is so stupid. What does he mean by tax incentive? So you have to be married and have 3 kids to get some sort of tax incentive. Like, the tax incentive would have to be like tens of thousands of dollars a year to offset the cost of having 3 children. So, like, what does he mean by tax incentive? Like this isn't a policy he's talking about. This is just some like dumb idea in his fucking head that makes no sense.
65-year-olds need to start working till 70. Pat, that's insane. You're not going to get something like that to pass. Listen, we're running out of money. 65-year-old Social Security, we need you to go back 5 years. That's pathetic. That'll never pass. Here's a caveat. You ready?
What job is a 70-year-old going to do? Like, this is insane. Yeah, no, you know what? Let's move the retirement age up to fucking 90. Most people don't even live that fucking long anyway. Like, what is the average life expectancy in the US right now? It's something like fucking 79. It's pretty low right now. US life expectancy. It's 77.28. So you only have 7 years after you retire to keep on living, and this guy thinks he's going to raise the retirement age to 70. Are you fucking insane? You'd probably actually see a reduction in lifespan if you move the retirement age to 70, because the amount of fucking stress you're going to put people through is going to make them fucking die younger. So, like, a lot of people probably won't even make it to fucking retirement age. Like, this guy is insane.
Ready? For every penny you make up to $250,000, after you turn 65, you pay 0 in taxes. Wait, what? Let me explain. Say you make $200,000 a year.
Who the fuck is making $200,000 a year, you fucking idiot? Do you think if you're making $200,000 a year, you're gonna be working until you're fucking 70, you fucking moron? Oh my god, this guy's an idiot.
As a 65-year-old, you pay 50% in
Holy
taxes.
shit.
What are you keeping? Only $100,000. Now,
dude, this guy is out of his mind.
If I retire at 65, I'm leaving how much money on the table? Babe, if you work this year and you make $200,000, you're going to keep 100% of it. You're not going to pay the other 100% taxes. Why don't you work?
You're not going to be working. This guy is so dumb.
Work 1 more year. You work 1 more year. Oh my God. Did you see how much money we have in the bank? Yeah. Go 1 more year, babe. Take care of your health. Go 1 more year, babe. 5 years later, you got $1 million. Wow. That's crazy.
This guy
exactly.
is so
Then if you want to go
stupid.
one more year, it's up to you. We're living longer now. But guess what that does to us? We don't need
Dude, doesn't this guy have like a $40 million net worth or something? Like, what is he talking about?
to tap into Social Security because it is simply running out. Here's the next thing that's not going to be popular.
Social Security isn't running out. That's a fucking myth.
You know how much money we're spending on entitlement programs and welfare and all that stuff? 53% of our federal expenditure is being spent on entitlement programs and welfare. By the way, here's what I would do. Every year, I would reduce
I'm pretty sure that's misleading as fuck.
entitlement programs by 7% every year.
Let me look that up. Percentage of tax revenue that goes to welfare. So, roughly 14% of the budget provides assistance to family and individuals in need. Where did he get that figure from? So, only 14% of the federal budget goes to welfare programs. And then he says it's over 50. Where the fuck did he get that number from?
So whatever our budget is, if it's $3 trillion, year one, $210 billion, lower. Year two, $200 billion, lower. Year three, $195 billion, lower. It keeps going lower and lower and lower. By the 10th year, our entitlement program splits in half. Rule of 72. We would decrease our entitlement program by 7% every year for 10 years.
Oh, great. So basically, this dude wants to give money to the richest people on the planet and then take away money from the people who need it the most. What a brilliant idea. This guy just wants to create an oligarchy. That's all he wants. He wants to force middle income and lower earners to basically work until they die, take away any fucking social assistance programs so that the poor are even poorer, and then give tax cuts to the richest people so that they just make more money for no reason. This guy really needs to be president.
It would be very popular for the workers that are making the economy work. It would not be very popular for those who rely on these entitlement programs. Here's the next thing on entitlement programs. Oh, that's not fair, Pat. How could you say you're going to cut these entitlement programs out?
Like, this guy has no fucking clue. What does he mean entitlement? Like, do you think most people who are receiving these benefits aren't working?
Some of these people.
Shathar donated $2. Did it count? Let me see. I don't know what you mean, did it count? This guy's insanely strong. That probably wouldn't be a good deadlift at a powerlifting meet, but for strongman, that would count. Well, he's wearing straps too, so that definitely wouldn't be a good lift in a powerlifting meet, but strongman rules, yeah. Yeah, this guy's insanely strong. Like, stupid strong. That's crazy retard strength. I don't know what you mean by did it count though. Thanks for that donation, Shathar.
People are relying on that $2,000 a month. No problem. Guess what?
Yeah,
for those that still get the $2,000 or $3,000 a month, I would divide that exactly on what's the most money they've ever made in a month on average over a 10-year period. If that equates to 30 hours a week, you will need to work for the government 30 hours a week. I'm not giving you money for free. Why are we giving money away for free? Taxpayers' money who are working, we're taking from them and giving to people saying stay home and we're still going to take care of them? No. Go work 30 hours a week answering phone calls. Go work 30 hours a week cleaning some of the freeways. Go work 30 hours a week. No problem. And by the way.
So a single mother is supposed to be working at least 30 hours a week so that she can receive necessary benefits?
I'd like to give Andrew a wet willy and slap his bald head.
That's good. Thanks for that donation, Christy.
Those who receive entitlement programs will have drug testing going on. Surprise, they used to do it in the military all the time. It was great. Simply they
Oh, so we're going to have drug testing for people who are receiving benefits. So where's this money for the drug testing supposed to come from, dumbass? Is that supposed to come through taxes? Oh, wait, rich people aren't paying taxes anymore under your government system. So I guess the poor people who are getting their fucking benefits taken away are supposed to be paying for their own fucking drug testing through their taxes, right? What a fucking idiot. This guy's a moron.
would get up and said, if your Social Security, the last four, starts with the number 4, step up, and you would step up. Let's go. We're going to test you this month for XYZ. We would do random drug tests quarterly for people that take entitlement programs to make sure you're not using drugs because we're concerned for you. And why are we giving...
This guy shouldn't be allowed to live. Like, I'm so mad that somebody has these, like, disgusting, idiotic political beliefs. Like, people like this shouldn't be allowed to live. This is literal fascism.
Our money away.
Holy
That's gotta
crap. So, like, my taxes that are going towards social safety nets for myself are, rather than going to actual social programs that would benefit me, are going towards drug testing to make sure I'm not on drugs. But rich people get to take whatever fucking drugs they want. Fuck this guy. What an asshole. WXC donated $2. Meant to send this one Did his ass come off? Oh, 600 pounds. Let me see. It's hard to tell. Might have. But it's hard to tell. Like, if you're this big and strong, he probably has a big butt, so his butt was probably still on the bench. He was just tensing up his butt cheeks. But it's hard to tell from that angle. Thanks for the donation, though, WXC.
An investment so people get off of welfare and entitlement. That's not to give money just to give it for the hell of it. I'm sure if you're still watching this, you're sitting there saying, Pat's trying to make friends with all these ideas. Wonderful ideas, right? Some people are probably losing their minds going on Twitter. Screw you, PBD. I totally get it. I told you, my ideas. Here's the next idea. Big Pharma. There's 195 countries in the world, okay, give or take. Only 2 countries allow for Big Pharma to advertise on TV. One is New Zealand. The other one is U.S. Are we following New Zealand's lead? Since when in the world does anybody follow New Zealand? What are we doing? No, the day I get elected, remember, I'm not born in the U.S., so things have to change. But if I were to get elected, we're going to have to stop Big Pharma advertising on TV. You actually need to get to work and go meet with doctors and sell them why your drug is good. No longer advertising on television. Day 1, first executive order.
That is the only policy that he said so far that I actually agree with. Pharmaceutical companies should not be able to directly advertise to consumers. They should be, say, advertising to doctors or pharmacists, and doctors should be the ones prescribing medications based on what meds they think are beneficial for you. They shouldn't be able to advertise on TV saying, these drugs are wonderful, take them, ask your doctor about it. You're not a medical expert, your doctor is. And your doctor should be the one telling you about these meds and deciding which meds are beneficial for you. So that's the one thing I agree with him on.
Big Pharma is done advertising on television. By the way, don't you think these Big Pharma people are so happy a guy like me could never run? You know how much money that would cost them? A lot of money. So they're in a...
Well, that's not even true. Probably they would want this guy in power because he'd make them not pay any taxes.
To prove I am not Saga, here is me benching, not my max.
You didn't give me a link. If you give me a link, I can take a look. Thanks for the donation, though, Andrew.
Safe place right now because I can't run. Staying on Big Pharma, one of the challenges I think we have is the amount of patent these pharmaceutical companies have to sell a drug that takes them 10 cents to make, 25 cents to make. They're selling it for $200-$300 because they can. So they keep the patent and they do that for 20 years. Then great lawyers and lobbyists extend another 18 years on the patent so that thing stays expensive and the consumer, the individual that needs that medicine, whatever it could be, doesn't get it because they can't afford to pay for it. I would create a structure to incentivize the company that came up with the patent to sell it to others so they can make more money for their competitors to also sell it. But we would ask them to have a structure where the price would be lower, where they don't have to charge.
That makes no fucking sense. So this is the problem with everything he said so far. I'd make an incentive structure. Okay, well, what is that incentive structure? And then he won't explain what the incentive structure is. Like you can say this, like, oh, I'd make an incentive structure. Okay, that's not explaining how the fuck that would work. Like, this, you could say that for fucking anything. Like, Big Pharma is advertising on TV. Okay, well, I would fix that by making an incentive structure. Like, that doesn't mean anything. That's just shit you're saying.
Bench.
Let me take a look, Andrew.
Go, 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 go! Yeah.
Well, since this YouTube channel says Jason Giambi, I don't know if that's Andrew.
Oh.
So, yeah, but thanks for the donation, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Charge it 1,000, 10,000% above what it really costs them to do it. And on top of that, we would work on lengthening short.
Yeah, so the only way to actually cut down cost of medication is to socialize healthcare. That's it. The US is paying, I think, on average, something like 5 to 10 times more on medication than every other country. Insulin, for example, is 10 times cheaper in Canada than in the US. So the only way to actually bring down the cost of medications is to socialize healthcare. Him, like, you know for a fact this guy's full of shit and doesn't know what he's talking about, because every single answer he has to these problems is, I'd make an incentive structure, and then he doesn't explain what that incentive structure is or how it would work. So he just plain and simple doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He has no solution to any of these fucking problems, and he just throws around these buzzwords like incentive structure as if that's a fix.
Shortening the length of patents in America, instead of 20 years, we would shorten it. The next one would be education. I got a big problem with what they're doing in public schools right now, where some parents are cornered who can't afford to put their kids into private school. I would incentivize private schools in America who are not grooming, who are not indoctrinating the kids. There will be an incentive for private schools.
There's no point in watching any of the video. He just keeps incentivize. I'd incentivize. Like, what are you gonna do with Russia, Ukraine? I'd incentivize Russia to stop.
Schools to compete with public schools. So this the most powerful union in America, which is this teachers union that we have. I think they got 3 million. There's like a couple of them, but the biggest one is 3 million members. We need to compete against them. So one of the first things we would do is incentivize more private schools to be started. I would ask entrepreneurs.
This makes no sense. So he's literally saying, I'm just going to keep giving private corporations and the richest people in the world more and more money. And then basically so private corporations, private businesses, and rich people just get money from the government for free. And then there's no fucking public services. So, like, again, this is the worst policy imaginable. So he's going to take away fucking funding from public schools, give the money to private schools, force poor people to pay for private school, which they're not going to be able to afford. And then all of these corporations make a ton of fucking money, get free handouts from the government, But then, like, again, everybody is forced to just pay for things, even though they're paying, like, their taxes are literally just going, like, it's money going down the drain. So you're paying taxes so that you don't get any social services. Private corporations get all the money, and then you have to end up paying for these private businesses. It doesn't make any sense. Why pay taxes? There's no point in paying taxes if you're not going to get public services. This is the definition of a fucking oligarchy. If you're rich, you get more money, and poor people just work for you. Like, this guy is insane. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's saying.
And many of these wealthy folks, if you're not going to run for office, if you're not going to go work in church, if you're not going to work in nonprofit, use your billions and tens of millions to start some private schools. We would incentivize you to do that based on certain structures that teaches the values and principles that this great country.
That is completely unconstitutional. I don't know why the fuck it just did that. That's completely unconstitutional. So that would violate secularism.
Private schools. Day, I can't even describe it to you. One of the greatest days of my life was that day. The other day was June 20th of other countries who are around our borders, such as Mexico and other places, to get their country to become better so people are not running away from you to come to us. That's what we'll do. 1 year suspension of immigration with the border. And I know a lot of people are not going to be happy about that. Housing.
You need immigration. Without immigration, you're going to see economic collapse. So, like, this idea that
I will incentivize his mom to perform consensual acts of fornication with me.
Yeah, really. He should change like, what he really means by incentivize is he wants to take all the fucking tax revenue that the poor and middle class are paying, give it to corporations and rich people, and then take away all social services so that we live in an oligarchy where the middle class and poor basically just make the rich richer. It's crazy. He would basically turn the U.S. into, like, Russia, essentially. It would probably even be worse than Russia, if anything, with what he's saying. Thanks for that donation, though, Woke Out. I totally lost my train of thought.
Would be another issue. Right now, we don't have a lot of homes that people can afford.
Oh, yeah, you need immigration. Without immigration, you're going to not have a strong workforce. You need immigration coming into the country. You have so many jobs that require immigration. Immigration also prevents a lot of jobs from going overseas. So if he's going to have these sort of, like, long pauses to immigration, you're going to drive so many jobs overseas, and you're going to have a massive deficit in the job market.
Or to buy, so we need more starter homes. Everybody's trying to build the stuff that we can make a lot of money with. Home builders that build things, houses under $400,000. Some states may be different because it's obviously by zip code and by state. But to give you an example, under $400,000, if the builder's willing to build it, they pay 0% taxes on those properties because we need more homes, starter homes specifically for the younger generation. They cannot afford to buy a house right now. So
I would agree with that policy. I think that would make a lot more sense in Canada. There needs to be some sort of big cash injection into the construction market to build affordable homes. So that's one policy I'd agree with him on.
Two things here. One is military and the other one is business. They both, same thing is happening with them. So in
like the big thing though is zoning. Even with zero taxes, there's still huge zoning issues where you have a massive barrier for building. So even with a cash injection or even with a 0% tax incentive, the zoning laws would still be a roadblock. So you'd need to get rid of those zoning laws.
business, you're noticing a lot of companies are consolidating, right? These big banks are getting bigger, right? Because they're buying up everybody. Or Walmart, Amazon, they're getting bigger because they're gobbling up small little markets that have been there in a small little town for 50 years. They say, we're going to raise the minimum wage. Those guys can't do it. Walmart can do it. Amazon can do it. These guys can't do it. We'll create incentives for small business owners because at one point we had half of America work for small businesses. More and more and more is becoming big companies. This is why
This is insane. This is absolutely insane. So he literally just talked about a tax program that would take all money away from poor and middle class and literally just give it to the hands of private corporations. And then he's talking about fucking helping small businesses. How in the fuck could you have an economy that supports small business if you have a tax structure like this? This guy's just a fucking tard. Like, he's literally tarded.
Hey retard, everyone knows immigration is good for the economy. The problem is 2.5 million immigrants entering the US this year. Open borders and no assimilation to culture destroys a country, you retard.
That is incredibly low, you idiot. US immigration is extremely fucking low. It really should be at least twice as high. Show me the fucking evidence that the US is being destroyed by immigration right now. It's fucking not. The more immigration, really, the better. Obviously, you have to have screening when it comes to immigration. You don't want, like, terrorists entering the country, but immigration is a fucking good thing. It pretty much benefits everybody. Thanks for that donation, though, Majin Buu.
some of these politicians that get up acting like they're for the small person, they're helping out the bigger company. The bigger company can afford to pay higher prices for their employees. It's the small ones that can't. Once we lose them, forget about competition. The military side, in 1990, they came out with, Congress came out with some law that they pushed all these 51 different military contractors that we had, that people were at least buying. They were competing against each other. They took the 51 and they consolidated it all down to 5 companies that we have today. Military. That's not competition. They're all best friends. They all make a lot of money. They all get the contracts. They all love more war. They make more money when there's war and conflicts and things like that. We're going to incentivize companies to break apart and small businesses to be created here to compete against.
So stupid. There's a reason why they did that. Not every fucking company can actually produce military equipment effectively. There are manufacturing standards. There are security issues. Like there's a reason why there's only a few companies that get these defense contracts.
And STEM. Incentives for companies to not fear going up against these guys. Last one will be a massive campaign we would launch called the Hero Making Machine, turning the right people into heroes, not complainers, not whiners, those that life is hard, but they step up and they lead their families. Whether it's mothers that are leading their kids after the father died, that's a hero. She's got 3 jobs. I want to turn her into a hero. Whether it's the kid that's creating a business on the side to make money to help out family because family's going through challenging times, that's a hero. Whether it's a cop that saved 2-3 kids, took a bullet, and we don't recognize those cops, we're going to turn them into heroes. If it's the small business owner that risked everything.
Carly Muscle in his 90s.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the Zeus of Juice, Bruce Poltman.
What? Sure.
Yeah. Okay, now first things first, we gotta get this out of the way. Now, a lot of people know that your wife died in a juicer.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
yet here you stand today trying to sell a whole new juicing product. I mean, that must take a lot of balls.
Well,
You're so courageous and brave.
Listen, Kathy, I thought we agreed not to bring up my dead wife on this infomercial. Now, can we just fucking continue to sell this piece of shit? Okay. Now, the secret to living a long, healthy, and sexy life is to juice the vegetable known as the carrot.
Now, hold on just a goddamn minute. I've been eating carrots all my life, and I don't feel sexy at all.
Okay, maybe that's because you're wearing a men's button-up shirt, but your problem is you need to start juicing your carrots in order to receive the sexy carroty enzymes, people.
So what you're saying is we gotta juice them.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that this carrot right here in my hand can turn into juice?
The process is simple. You take the carrot and you just... And from that very exact moment, you and your carrot are connected as one.
All right, well, let's make some juice.
Not funny, but thanks for the donation. You work for someone.
Him and his wife, all their savings, they sold their house, they sold their cars, they started a business and created 100 jobs in a community after 3 years. We want to turn them into heroes. It'll be a program we'll launch also called the 180 program. The 180 program will recognize people that made the biggest 180 in their lifetime. Used to be a drug addict and a drug dealer, changed his life, gave his life to God, went and worked at a company, is now a C-suite executive making $210 per year, is happily married, has got 3 kids. 10 years ago, he was in jail. The 180 program. Let's turn that guy into a hero. 180 program could be you were a regular person complaining, bitching, whining, blaming everybody. You chose to stand up for yourself, become a leader. Now you're running a business. You got 38 employees in Kansas. We're going to turn that person into a hero, part of the 180 program. On top of the hero making machine and the 180 program, we will launch the National Book Club. Yes, National Book Club. Let me give you some stats on books. When you look at numbers, families making over $75,000 a year versus families making under $30,000 per year, here's what you'll notice. Adults with annual household incomes of $30,000 or less are more than twice as likely to be non-book readers as the most affluent adults. About 17% of those making over $75,000 per year did not read books, while 36% of those making less than $30,000 per year. This is according to CNBC, meaning those making over 75, they read books twice as much as those under 30,000. Why? If you read books, I'm freed because of books. I'm a 1.8 GPA kid in high school who was great at math, but I never read any book. First time I finished a book.
Jalen $20, this guy is delusional. He's not just delusional, he is absolutely batshit insane. This guy is a fucking wacko. I didn't realize somebody could actually be this fucking crazy. Thanks for that donation, though, Jalen.
Cover to cover. I got out of the Army. I worked at Bally's. My sister recommended me how to win friends and influence people. And my boss, Robbie, recommended me how to master the art of selling. Then I read 2,000 books and my life changed. We will launch a monthly National Book Club. And you post your book reviews on Twitter, different places, and the books could be categories. Finance, it could be fiction, it could be nonfiction, it could be money, it could be so many different things related to.
If this dumb motherfucker wants people to read books, then why the fuck isn't he investing more in public education? Instead, he wants to give fucking private schools more fucking money so that they can just have more money? Like, oh, dude, I can't get over this.
You improving yourself, that we'll pick and choose the best book reviews. You post a 1-minute video and White House will retweet those and turn you into a hero, because God knows in America, we need more book readers. We're too
What? So rather than investing more in public education, he's going to make it so the fucking White House retweets your fucking Twitter page if you read a book? What?
distracted right now with social media. We
oh
gotta
my
get our heads
God.
like this instead of like this. That's what we got to do. That's what we would be doing.
Dude, this guy is so dumb. I can't get over it. Bro. Holy shit.
At Lionheart.
Let me take a look.
Head. Now we're back to vital statistics. There's no cure for baldness, but a Manchester firm have developed the next best remedy, a new look toupee. Short back and sides are out at this hairdresser's in reverse. It's more important to get that crown or temple measurement correct. A neat hairstyle always makes a good impression.
Wizardly Rhino donated $2. Amazing atheist hot take on veganism. We already reacted to that. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Hair raising. That's one way of describing this toupee test. It's embarrassing enough when a hat blows off, but there's a worse fate for the wearer of a toupee unless it feels secure. Still not convinced about this new look for bald men? Take the advice of an expert. He should know. It's worth getting your head down to make sure bad dreams don't come true. Imagine waking up scalped. This isn't a quick sobering up lesson. It's the last of a series of tests to make sure toupee and owner don't part company in unfortunate circumstances. In 3 weeks, a toupee can be measured, made, and tested. Then comes the fitting with the final touch from international hairstylist Cyril Packer.
It's fucked up how dudes go bald. Like, they look so much fucking better with hair. Like, for real. The guy looks like he aged, you know, at least 10 years just because of his bald-ass head.
If you want to get a girl, get a head of hair.
Yeah. Well, toupees.
Right now, what motivates you? If you had to ask yourself, okay, why am I working hard? Many young guys will actually give such a shitty answer even though they think they're being smart. Many people will say, I'm doing it for myself. I don't care about anyone else. I don't care about girls. I'm doing it for myself. I go to the gym for myself. I'm not doing it to get girls. I'm not doing it for my family. I'm doing it for myself. That's the mindset that so many guys have, even hard-working, somewhat strong and traditional guys have. And it always blows my mind because I'm just thinking, like, you don't even realize what's happening here. This is not your original thought. This is the brainwashing from, like, the Jeffrey propaganda out there to be more of an individual. Because what would high testosterone, like alpha male type of...
I can guarantee you the reason why I want to make money is to benefit myself. I don't know why there would be an assumption that you're not working for your own benefit. Something like you can go down a weird meta rabbit hole like this. Say you're trying to improve your looks. Like, yeah, you might want to improve your looks so that you can get a girl, but that is also something that's a personal benefit to you, right? So even when you say something like, okay, well, I'm trying to look better so I can get laid or get a girl, that is a personal benefit to you. So, yeah, it's not illegitimate to say I'm working out or trying to make more money and shit for myself.
But guys 100 years ago, gentlemen, have said to this question, why do you work hard? Would they have said, oh, I'm just doing it for myself. I don't care about anyone else. Really imagine that. Imagine there's a guy in like a full-on suit with a little hat and stuff 100 years ago, high testosterone. You shake his hand and he almost like crumples your fucking low test hand. And you ask him, why are you working so hard? His answer is just going to be one word. Family. I'm doing it for my wife. I'm doing it for my children. And yet in the modern day, we think we're based guys by saying like, oh, well, I don't care about doing it for girls. When in actual fact, yeah, sure, don't do it for degeneracy, fine. But how about you keep in mind your future wife? How about you keep in mind your future children? Maybe this is why you're struggling with motivation so much, and this is why so many guys are purposeless, because they're just doing it for themselves. And when you're doing it for yourself, you're not that motivated, you're not that disciplined.
What? This is insane. Yeah, because money, like the personal benefit you get to having more money is not a good motivator. Like, are you fucking out of your goddamn mind? This is coming from a guy who's fucking single. I don't think he has a girlfriend right now. He's probably like, I would be surprised if in 10 years this guy ends up having children, because for one thing, there's not many women on the planet who'd want to have kids with this guy, for one thing. And two, I'm not even convinced this guy ever even wants to have kids. Like, this is so bullshit.
What percentage of the time do you actually want to go and do the hard work? If you really think about the hard work, not like, you know, going to the gym is fun for a lot of us guys, but like the hardest part of your work, maybe it's studying, maybe it's like, you know, for me, it's like recording videos. What percentage of the time do you actually go and do it, or do you want to do it? Maybe like 10%, 15%, 20%. And so if you're only doing it for yourself, then it becomes much harder to be motivated to do it. And then when you don't need...
Most people aren't going to like the work they do, but they like the money they make. So what do you mean? I don't understand how just because you don't like doing your work, that means the money you make isn't a strong enough motivator.
The rewards of it anymore, it stops. So for example, let me tell you my story, right? When I am in this sort of selfish little modern day individual mood of just thinking about my own life, I find it much harder now where I am in life to go and like do that hard work. Let's say, for example, going to the gym and recording these videos, because I don't really need it for myself anymore. It's like I have enough muscle that I feel pretty nice. Like I feel happy with my physique. I have enough success and money where like I can buy anything I want. And so if I was just doing it for myself, it's like I've had this massive rut of demotivation recently, and I've still been fairly disciplined, but it's just like, you know, I've not wanted or cared to do any of this extra work because I've not needed it.
Okay, and what's the problem exactly?
And it was just hit me like literally earlier this morning where I just thought like, why have I been so selfish thinking about only myself when I could also think about the other people that I could do it for? And suddenly I woke up and all the tasks that I've been procrastinating on, I did this morning. I woke up at 3:30 a.m. and I did it.
Like, how about you make your fucking girlfriend or wife work if she wants more fucking money from you? This is insane. Okay, this is literally beta male fucking thought process here. So, if you don't like your job and you're making enough money to where you don't have to work as much in a job you don't really like doing, why the fuck would you work more so that you could benefit somebody else? If you're with a girl, if you have a girlfriend or even a wife, and yeah, presumably you could both benefit more from you making more money, then she can fucking get a job and work if she wants more fucking money. Like, you have to live your own fucking life. So if you're making enough money for you to be perfectly happy and comfortable with yourself, and then you're with some fucking bitch who's like, I want a new car, I want a bigger house, I want like 3 kids, so you're gonna have to make more money so they can all go to college, she can fucking get a job and work more. Why the fuck do you have to fit the bill for everybody in your fucking life? This is fucking beta male simp horseshit. Why the fuck do you have to work more so that some fucking woman can ride off your fucking back? Horseshit. Women can fucking work, they can get a fucking job, they can do all that just fine on their fucking own. So if they want a bigger house, if they want another car, or they want all their kids to go to fucking college or something, they can fucking chip in too. Like, don't be a fucking simp and think because you're the man you have to make all the fucking money. This guy is a fucking beta male fucking loser who has this mindset that the only way, like, he can get a fucking girl is to make sure that he can, like, give them enough fucking money to be happy enough to prevent them from dating some other fucking dude. That's just beta male simp shit.
In the sort of the feel of love for other people. I woke up and like, instead of me thinking like, oh man, I've got to record, but you know, since I only record for myself, I don't really feel like it, so I'll do it some other time. I woke up with the thought of like, I've got to record videos and do a live stream, not for myself, but for you, for the young men around the world who actually need some help, who could use some advice from someone who actually like wants the best for you.
Nigga, you only upload like once a fucking week. Get the fuck over yourself. Like, bullshit. Okay, this guy uploads garbage fucking videos like once a week, if that. You can look at his upload schedule on this channel. Does he have another fucking channel now? No, this is his main. He's only been uploading 1 or 2 videos a month on his other channel. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And then he's saying, "Oh, I made sure I uploaded videos so I could help all of you." You ramble about bullshit like once a fucking week, if that. You're not fucking doing jack shit.
Rather than some bullshit system that wants you to act like a little feminine pussy. And so I woke up and I've checked off everything that I needed to do today. It's 6 a.m. I woke up 3 hours ago. It's 6 a.m. and I've finished working for today. 6 a.m. I've already finished what I needed to do today because I woke up in the light of like wanting to help and serve other people. So
you make your money rambling about bullshit on YouTube. You only upload like once a week, and you just started this Adonis School thing where you scam fucking kids into paying you $500 for the startup fee and $100 for every like each consecutive month, so that they can learn fucking bullshit that they could have gotten for free on the internet. Like, as if you're helping anybody.
this idea of like, oh, well, you know, I'm just doing it for myself. I don't care about anyone else. I'm not doing it for girls. I remember how many guys used to criticize me when I was first starting.
Literally everything you do is for your own benefit and nothing else. You're one of the most selfish fucking people I've ever come across. If you actually wanted to help people, you wouldn't fucking make incredibly stupid, unresearched YouTube videos where you do nothing but fucking lie.
Fitness journey, and I said it like outwardly saying like, yes, I'm lifting weights to attract girls, and so many guys thought that that was weird to say. I remember when I would post about it on social media, like before I was a YouTuber, I'd post onto Reddit, and people would say like, oh, you know, it's a bad thing that I had this external motivation that I wanted to lift weights so that I looked good and that I was more like attractive and I could be a better partner and more disciplined in a relationship, and people thought that was a bad thing. And yet all the guys who had their own selfish source of motivation, they end up getting complacent. How is it a bad thing if you thought to yourself, I'm training hard for my future wife, so that, because quite frankly, I'm pretty sure that she'd still want me to look sexy. That's not a bad thing to say. I'm training hard to.
This is oxymoronic. If you're working out so that you can attract a girl, that ultimately benefits you. If you're working out for somebody else's interest, then that would mean that would be a situation where you're working out and losing weight so that, say, your partner could enjoy sex with you more. That would be a unselfish reason, possibly anyway. But if you're working out so that you can attract women and have like a better chance of getting laid, that's ultimately a reason that would benefit yourself. So that's not doing something for somebody else's interest. That's doing something for your own interest.
So that I can play with my children. I don't even have children, but I'm training hard for them just in the future. Imagine if I was like not going to think about that. And then this is the plight of most guys, that they turn like fat and ugly when they're 35 years old because they've only been doing it for themselves, but then their own level of self-care and standards and respect starts going down.
How can someone
naturally.
work out for 10 plus years and still be weak as vegan gains? Okay, dude. So my best lift that I have on Instagram for bench is 340 for sets of 3. So let's see you beat that. So where was it? I think this was it. So show me a video. I'm going to ban you if you don't. And you can post it in the Discord. So post it in my fucking Discord, you benching 340 for 3 or better, or I'm going to ban you. And if you don't do it in the next like minute or so, that'll be that. So There's the fucking Discord link. If you want to keep leaving stupid dumb bitch comments in my YouTube chat, show me that you can lift more than me, and if you can't, then you're fucking banned. Alright? So, post the video to your channel, the one you have right now. I can go to your fucking channel page. So, post it. If you don't post it in the next minute, you're fucking banned. Alright? Time's ticking. Where the fuck did the video go? There we go.
Over time, when you only think of yourself. So why don't we try this for today? Why don't you just think to yourself, what is the hard task that you've got to do later today? The really hard task that you might not feel like doing. And what if you just did it in the love of someone else? Maybe it's your future wife, maybe it's your future children, maybe it's if you've got a current wife or current kids, that's amazing as well. Maybe it's your family, maybe that hard task like, going to work or...
Okay, so you're clearly not going to do it. Bye. Take care, dumbass.
Studying. Maybe instead of trying to think to yourself with the selfishness of like, yeah, I'm just doing it for myself, I don't really feel like it. Maybe you think about your mother and you think, you know what, I'm going to study for 2 hours today for my mother. And just think about how much more like energy and love and focus you're going to bring to that, like, commitment and dedication and discipline and responsibility. I think a man should have this pressure where he keeps in mind like the people who rely on him. I think this is the way that you develop as a man, because I'm going to be honest, right? This like happiness kind of, don't care about anyone else, just focus on yourself kind of mindset. I've had that recently and it's so fucking boring. It's boring when you live like that because
you're single, you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have kids, you don't have anybody that relies on you, and you're saying this. Like again, this is just dumb content that he can upload that in no way applies to himself, even though he tries to make it personalized by saying, oh, I've had this problem lately.
Why are you losing subs? Equals.
I don't know, maybe I'm boring or stupid or something. Thanks for the donation, Grape. I don't know why the fuck you have to ask me a stupid question like that.
Because you feel like you've got a lack of energy. You feel like you've got a low testosterone where you're just like, oh, well, what do I want to do for myself today? Like, I'll go eat and I'll wake up.
Again, this guy's single, has no kids, doesn't have any family that relies on him. Like, why, like, the only reason he's saying this is because he couldn't think of anything better to upload. I don't know what to fucking tell you, dude. It's fine to have self-interest.
And I'll go watch something on YouTube and I'll go eat something which tastes good on my tongue because it's really sweety, but it's afterwards I feel like shit when I've ate it. And then I'll just go just waste time and scroll on my phone and watch more shit. When you're only doing things for yourself, you just end up wasting away, and it's such a dry, dull life, which it's like you have no zest, no male aggression to your life. I don't ever want to go back to that. I want to always be like almost like a servant of others that I love, that I care about, because that's what...
Right, is that why you're charging $500 for your shitty Adonis school where you just lie to people and bullshit all day?
Where that energy comes from, that's where like suddenly your eyes open before your alarm goes off in the morning and you're like, this work is important, other people rely on me. The exact moment this happened for me, if you're interested, was
when your subs leave, a lot of them over the years, by the way, where do they go?
They go to fuck your mom. Thanks for the donation, Mango.
Been in almost like this complacent zone for the last like few weeks or a month or so, because I've achieved like all the goals that I set out to a few years ago, and I'm making so much money in my business where like money doesn't mean anything anymore. Like literally everything is for free now, apart from like big purchases like cars, houses and stuff. That's definitely like still like expensive for me. But day to day, like even fancy restaurants, I haven't looked at the price of anything for literally like longer than a year. So it doesn't even feel like money is something that I've got to work hard for. It literally feels like everyone just gives me stuff for free because it's just like...
Yes! People give you shit for free. You're charging $500 for your shitty Adonis school, and there's literally no overhead cost, and all you do is fucking blab, and you say bullshit. So yeah, people do give you money for free. It's called being a fucking YouTube scam artist.
Like an unlimited card because we make a lot of money in this business, right? And that's actually made me feel very complacent in life, like because I've just got what I wanted. And I've been bored with it. Think about that. Like I achieved the goals and it's been...
That's because you're a brain dead moron with no actual hobbies or interests.
Boring because there's been nothing to like work hard for. When I ask myself like, what do I want out of life and everything? The answer is like, it's always such a low level of like desire, of ambition, of hard work. And it's just like lethargy. It's just like, you know, being sat around watching fucking...
That guy just posted a video of him bench 400 pounds for 3 reps.
Cool. Sure he did. Thanks for the donation.
In YouTube videos and stuff. But when you ask yourself, what would my family want? What are ways that I could help them that they don't even realize? Suddenly it's like your desire to work hard fucking shoots through the roof because how much money I need is literally just like a few thousand a month.
Your subs are like your hairline. Receding.
Well... If my subs were like my hairline, it wouldn't be receding. It would be the same. My hairline hasn't been receding. I've had the same hairline since I was a kid. Thanks for the nation, jackass.
I'm a simple guy. I wear like the same fucking clothes and stuff. I'm a simple guy, right? So I feel like I've got unlimited money because I make a lot of fucking money, right?
Right, you're a simple guy. That's why you travel around the world, including fucking Dubai, one of the most expensive places on the planet to live. You're a simple guy.
But when I think about my entire family and I think I could free them all from the financial chains of the system, that I could...
You're never, ever, ever going to give your parents money. The only money you're ever going to give your parents is rent if you choose to fucking stay living there for like a month or two. Fuck right off.
Not even my family, you know, close family, but like all of my relatives in Pakistan, I could free them all. Everyone, I could get them like advanced healthcare, customized supplements, healthy food. My future family, like
he's never going to do that.
Beautiful house which has, you know, it's perfectly
he's
optimized.
He's never ever going to do that because he doesn't give a fuck about his own family and he doesn't feel like he has a responsibility to them. So he's never going to do that. This is just a lie. Show us the receipts, right? So if you're talking about making your family financially free and just giving them money, well, show us the receipts. You're never going to do that. You're just going to let them work and retire just like everybody fucking else because you don't feel like you have a responsibility to your parents to do that for them. So you're full of shit.
Health. There's no fucking microplastic estrogenics in there. We've got a perfect sauna, ice tub. You know, it's not like, I'm not being totally materialistic, but these things have like a really good value of like, you know, having that in your house and you've got the highest quality food and supplements and healthcare and everything. Now it's like, oh shit, like, come on, now I'm waking up thinking down, like there's something to work hard for. So I think it's actually a good thing to keep in mind the people that you want to work hard for, to keep in mind the purpose, the mission, the cause, the movement that you want to like sacrifice some of this.
Congratulations, you're banned.
Comfort for. Would you agree with me? If you only focus on yourself, you would literally just waste away just playing fucking video games, wouldn't you? It was when you started to think of other people, that's when you got on self-improvement. It was when you started to be motivated by girls, that's when you got into the gym. And it's okay to admit this because it's getting you to be productive. You don't want to have a degenerate motivation. You don't want it to be like, yeah, I'm working hard just so I can fuck as many girls as possible and take drugs, fine. You don't want to do
2 a.m. vegan wasn't on my stream last night. It was some troll.
that. But when you make it more of a positive motivation of like, yeah, I'm working hard for my future wife and my children, working hard for
Fuck that dude talking about your subs. He's a little punk bitch. I wonder what he's doing with his like. Keep up the good shit, VG.
Thanks for the donation, dude. Appreciate it.
my family. Just notice yourself today. You're gonna go through today with a lot more of this like male aggression zest. And if you want, on the main channel, so, you know, this is my second channel we're watching on right now, but on my main channel, if you click on like the live stream tab, I just did like a quick like 20-30 minute live stream this morning where I spoke about this live and I was asking questions and everything, so maybe you'll be interested in that.
You might think that becoming a man who's worthy of attracting a 10 out of 10 woman requires having it all, You might need money, status, and fame. Or maybe
Or a
you
gay
think it's
necklace.
impossible for you to actually attract women given how today's dating culture is like. But the quickest way to truly attract a high-quality woman is much easier than you think it is. By avoiding the bad habits that turns women off, and by doubling down on the good habits that turns them on, you'll find yourself attracting so many more women than usual. If you want the cheat codes to do this for yourself,
Here
scroll
we
down to the
go.
description of this video, open that top link to get my newest dating guide. This is exclusive content that I'm giving away only to those guys who have got burning desires to improve their dating life. I'm making it
Hamza knows absolutely nothing about fucking dating. Like, my god, if you actually look at his advice for, like, cold approaching, it is shockingly embarrassing. This guy knows nothing about attracting women. He probably met this chick just through his fucking YouTube channel.
private because I don't want the algorithm to oversaturate this technique. If you're curious in learning some of the biggest secrets that I've found in dating, go click the top link in the description.
Yeah, make a YouTube channel and have a big enough YouTube channel where you have some women that are interested in you. That's his dating advice.
Right now.
What a loser.
Lack of evidence.
VG so soft. He criticizes and talks shit about everyone, but if you say one word to him he turns into a big baby. Your bench sucks for your body weight, by the way.
Yeah, here we go with the fucking weak little fucking shrimps who are like, but your fucking body weight to fucking strength weight ratio sucks. Yeah, right. So if you're 5'4" tall, you only weigh like 130 pounds and you can bench 250. I'm stronger than vegan gains because I have a better strength to body weight ratio. Like, no shit, you're fucking tiny. If you're fucking tiny and 5'4" fucking tall, you're gonna have a better strength to weight ratio. If you're fucking 6'3", you just naturally have a bigger fucking build. Your strength to weight ratio is gonna be fucking different, dumbass. Holy fuck, that is the biggest cope for weak-ass fucking pussies to be like, oh, but it's easy to bench that much weight if you're fucking heavy. Like, what, dumbass? You expect me to weigh like 150 fucking pounds? Oh my god, just annoys the shit out of me.
Who has decreasing subs and needs to take pills to feel not depressed? Vegan gains. Cheers to 200k subs in a year. Lamau vegan but can't feel happy. Sheesh.
Oh. Well, how about this? I'll shove the pills up your mom's ass. That'll make me happy. Thanks for the donation, dipshit.
If humans invented so many dragon legends, why do they appear in numerous cultures? We can find dragon legends in the Americas, ancient China, Africa, Australia, Europe, and just about every region on the planet. Why would humans in different unconnected regions?
Yeah, so these dragon legends are just based on animals. So this painting, I think it was King Arthur that's what the painting was based off of. Basically, he went to Africa, and when he was in Africa, he went hunting, which was one of his hobbies.
Alpha Destiny benched 405 at like 170 pounds. You weak as fuck.
Yeah, and if I was like 5'4" tall, like Alpha Destiny, yeah, I could probably do that too. Okay, but guess what? I'm 6'3". I have to be bigger and heavier to lift the same fucking weight. Thanks for the donation, jackass.
And just about
King Arthur, when I think it was Arthur, I might have been somebody else. I'm not a fucking historian, but basically, what happened was when he was in Africa, he ended up hunting Komodo dragons, and somebody like the artist who interpreted the dragon hunting thing wasn't there. He didn't know what a Komodo dragon looked like. So what you tend to see is earlier depictions of Komodo dragons were closer to what a Komodo dragon looked like. They were small, they were lizard-like, they had a forked tongue, and then you saw an evolution of these dragon myths over time, where artists had their own interpretations. They stylized things a bit more, and then you ended up getting more modern dragon myths later on in the medieval period, where dragons were huge, they had fire breath, and the fire breath thing, it's supposedly from an artist not understanding what a forked tongue was. So when an artist drew a forked tongue, another artist thought that was fire because the way it was drawn, it kind of looked like a flame.
I want to have kids and start a family, but not here in Canada. It's a liberal shithole. I don't trust public schools, and I don't want my kids to learn how to suck another boy's dick at the age of 6. Private school or homeschool is the way to go. Free Trump.
All right, well, good luck with that. Thanks for the donation, Mo Camera.
At every region on the planet. Why would humans in different unconnected regions all have legends of dragons? Young Earth creationists have used this as evidence that the Earth must be young. Legends of dragons are really stories of humans encountering dinosaurs, which didn't go extinct millions of years ago.
He there, bitch tits. Having a good night? Hope so. Stop being a bitch and cheer up, faggot. Fart fat gay. Fuck you, fat ass.
How about I make you choke on your own guts? Thanks for the donation, Joey Salads.
But lived alongside humans a few thousand years ago, until they were hunted to extinction. After all, what else could explain why so many separate cultures share legends of giant reptilian creatures? But perhaps there's a more logical explanation that young Earth creationists have overlooked.
Humans did not live with dinosaurs.
The scientific consensus is dinosaurs died out millions of years ago, while some evolved into various species of modern birds.
That is absolutely proven with the fossil record.
Speaking of dragons, today I took a juicy stinky poop, got off the seat, then had a surprise urge for a second log. I call it a double dragon. I decided to play a game where I tried to fit as much feces into my cheeks as I could. The limit does not exist.
That's good to hear, microwave poop. Thanks for the donation.
There is no scientific reason to believe dinosaurs and humans ever walked the Earth at the same time. But young Earth creationists challenge this consensus and argue humans did live with dinosaurs. Part of their evidence is the existence of various...
Calm down, Richard. BTW, Saga, I changed my profile pic for you. Like it? SS, just let it happen, baby Sags. I know you like the way I look, baby, don't you? Moi.
Okay. Thanks for that, Lionheart.
dragon legends found across the globe. On their website, Answers in Genesis says, dragons appear again and again in the records of cultures around the world, as well as in their art and pottery. The similarities are hints that many accounts may be based on actual encounters with these creatures. Dinosaurs and other reptiles, which God created on day 5 and 6, and which survived the flood aboard Noah's Ark. Young Earthers often argue ancient humans from various independent cultures all have legends of giant reptilian creatures that we have called dragons. How could humans isolated in Asia, Australia, the Americas, Africa, or Europe all have stories of humans encountering dinosaur-like creatures if they didn't actually encounter dinosaurs? It would be one thing if different ancient cultures had legends of entirely different mythical beasts, but why would they all share stories of giant reptilian creatures? Let's start with another mythical creature so we can make a comparison. Throughout the ancient Greco-Roman world, we have stories of humans encountering cyclopses, which were said to be giant one-eyed humanoid creatures.
The Cyclops myth was created from people discovering the remains of mammoths and not realizing that they were mammoth skeletons. A mammoth skull can sort of look like a human head with like a cyclops in the center. So that's where that myth originated from.
As far as I'm aware, most people today
and you can actually, yeah, mammoth skull cyclops. That's one of the first things that actually comes up in Google. So if you look at, you can see how a ancient retarded human that knows nothing about, you know, skeletal remains and species and shit like that could think this was a cyclops with an eye in the middle, and it was the remains of some, like, you know, giant humanoid creature. So that's where the cyclops myth comes from.
they do not think cyclopses ever existed, even though ancient authors like Virgil spoke of them as an extinct race. Given we've never found the remains of a humanoid species of cyclops, it's more likely the cyclopses came merely from the imagination of early humans. But what if there's a more logical basis as to why ancient people thought cyclopses once existed? Imagine you were born 2,000 years ago in ancient...
I am just sending this because I am afraid you are going to cry. These fools are fucking roasting you and I am laughing my nuts off. But I don't want you to cry. Cheer up, there are lots of cock drinkers up there, so you should be happy.
Thanks for the donation, AI Democracy. Appreciate it.
Ancient Greece. You have no modern scientific knowledge on how old the Earth is, or what species went extinct thousands of years before you were born. But one day you find a skull like this in the ground. This is a mammoth skull, but without any knowledge of paleontology, you might assume this was the skull of a giant that only had one eye. In fact, this appears to have happened at a point in medieval history. In 1371 on Sicily, Giovanni Boccaccio was present when locals found a giant skull and bones. Boccaccio identified it as the Cyclops from the Odyssey. But modern paleontologists have also reported that an extinct species of dwarf elephants once roamed Sicily. So it is plausible that the remains of one of these elephants were discovered in 1371, and the locals thought it was the skull of a Cyclops. In fact, the historian
Richard, I was watching your old content and honestly I was very concerned about how much anger you had inside. You easily could have been a school shooter, or serial rapist. It's good to see you changed, and made peace with Furious Pete. You friends now?
I'm not friends with Furious Pete, and go fuck yourself. Thanks for the donation, Ghost of Rich Piano.
Historian Adrienne Mayer did a comparison. She drew a map of where ancient people reported they found bones of giant monsters, and a map of where scientists have found rich deposits of mastodon, mammoth, and other large vertebrate fossils, and she found the locations overlapped. Ancient people seem to have found the fossils of extinct large mammals and assumed they were the bones of giants, cyclopses, or other monsters. In fact, we find evidence that ancient writers believed in the existence of giant monsters, partially because of giant bones. Pausanias reported the bones of numerous giants were found. Clement of Rome also reported that giant bones were found, confirming for him that giants once existed. Pliny the Elder reported a skeleton 46 cubits long, which many said were the remains of a giant. Plutarch reported that Sertorius was skeptical of a place a giant was said to be buried, and had his men dig up the remains. After uncovering the bones, he became convinced what he uncovered was really a giant, and had the men rebury the bones, and he offered a sacrifice. Adrienne Mayer, in her book The First Fossil Hunters, notes that ancient people were very interested in bones, and when they were found, it often confirmed their beliefs that monsters, dragons, and giants once existed. Now when you look at a mammoth skull, you might be confused as to why ancient people would think this was a humanoid species. But often ancient writers reported that giants had deformed faces, and didn't necessarily look like modern humans. Mayer also demonstrated using a toy model that the bones of a mammoth could be rearranged so as to resemble a biped giant with a deformed face. Furthermore, often ancient people would only report that a single bone or tooth was found, and they would construct a whole giant out of that alone. Phlegon notes a tooth was sent to the Emperor Tiberius, and he had a model of the whole giant constructed from the single tooth. Often a single bone was found, and an entire monster was inferred from that alone. Even in modern forensic cases, animal bones often get confused for human remains, being that the bones of other mammals are similar to human bones. Ancient humans may have come across a shoulder bone or a leg bone of a mastodon and thought it belonged to a giant human. And given the vast amount of reports we find, it makes sense that ancient people found gigantic bones and became convinced giants and monsters once existed. And this is a perfectly logical explanation as to why people thought dragons once existed. Instead of it being that humans had to live with dinosaurs for them to tell stories of dragons, it's more likely they merely found dinosaur fossils and constructed legends of dragons. And we can find evidence for this hypothesis. Alien reported that the bones of a gigantic dragon were discovered. Claudian said there were remains of dragons found in Sicily. Strabo reported that Posidonius found the jaw of a giant dragon. Herodotus reported he observed the remains of flying snakes. Diodorus claimed that Dionysus killed a monster in western Egypt, and it is still buried there. So when ancient people reported stories of dragons, it is more likely they merely found the remains of extinct animals, and assumed they found the creatures of mythology. Mayer says this is likely where the legend of the griffin came from. The ancient Mediterranean world believed in griffins, a creature that was said to have the body of a lion and the head and wings of an eagle. They were often reported to exist in Central Asia and guard treasure. We've never found griffins, but we have found in Central Asia the remains of Protoceratops, which had 4 legs and a beak like modern birds. Paleontologist Jack Horner said, "It now seems that the winged griffin of the Gobi Desert, that fanciful hybrid of avian and mammalian features, struck closer to the truth than anyone could have guessed." Ancient nomads likely found Protoceratops remains and tried to figure out what animal it was. Given that it had mammal-like features, but also a beak like a bird, it would be plausible for an ancient person to infer a half-bird, half-mammal creature and assume they still existed. As Horner says, if you came across a Protoceratops skeleton, or any other unusual skeleton, there was every reason to believe that similar animals existed, if not in the immediate area, then somewhere else. What's more, there was nothing to suggest that the group to which an unfamiliar animal belonged might have died out. Mayer suggests legends of griffins grew out of finding these bones and were spread to keep out rival gold seekers in the region. Similarly, if you came across a skull like this, your first impression might be that it looks eerily similar to a dragon from a fantasy novel. However, this is actually the skull of an extinct species related to modern giraffes. Here is another skull of an extinct giraffe-like species. Many ancient reports of where dragons lived also align with regions where modern scientists have found fossils like these. We are interested in pre-dragon people being.
This guy is one of the more reasonable Christians on the internet. God sacrifices himself to himself. The absurdity of Christianity.
The central message of Christianity is the death and resurrection of Jesus. Without it, there is no Christianity. But such a message has become a stumbling block for many, and a point of ridicule for others. Why exactly did God need to become human and die for our sins? The response many give is because this is the standard in the Torah of Moses. Only blood can atone for sins. But didn't God establish this rule? Surely he could have come up with a better way to atone for sins that did not require his own death. This is a separate question as to whether Christianity is true or not. Some finding an aspect of Christianity odd is not evidence Christianity is false. But for many, this has become a way to ridicule Christianity, a God who sacrifices himself to save us from the rules he established. But this problem is not new. It is an issue that goes back to the early days of the church. Paul even felt the need to address this in his first letter to the Corinthians. The gospel is a stumbling block to the Jews and a folly to Gentiles. Some cannot understand it, and others ridicule it. Early graffiti even depicts pagans mocking the Christians for worshiping a crucified man. But let us ask a simple question. If the central message of Christianity is so absurd, why did it not quickly die out? Why is it continue?
I mean, Mormonism exists. Scientology exists. People will believe in the dumbest, most retarded, insane shit imaginable. Something doesn't have to make sense for people to believe and worship it.
To grow and has become the world's largest and most influential religion. Historians have noted for years, Christianity has fully saturated our culture and was crucial for so much moral and scientific progress. If the idea is absurd and was mocked in the beginning, it should never have become what it is, and it should merely have been a footnote in some ancient historian's book that documented obscure cults. But the reality is different. Christianity has created the world we live in today, and has more converts than any other religion in history. So why have so many people given their lives to Christ, a God who creates rules where blood sacrifice is necessary to atone for sins, which he himself pays? In truth, the problem the critic has is not with Christianity itself, but with humanity. One cannot look at history and deny that Christianity has been successful. And a primary reason is because it taps into something within our very nature. It awakens something deep within us that transcends our reason and taps into a much deeper reality. I'm not saying the gospel is not rational. I believe it is. But it also goes beyond that, and it must.
Are you familiar with Aaron Ra? He goes over dinosaurs and creationism on his channel. Here's a video, you don't have to watch though. Just sharing is all.
Yeah, I know Aaron Ra. I've seen this video before. I think I've seen most of the videos in the series. Thanks for the donation though, dude. Appreciate it.
Must, because humans are not purely rational creatures. We often act on emotion or in irrational ways that puzzle even ourselves.
Yeah, you're telling me, dude, you're Christian.
In many ways, our psychology isn't rational and can be quite absurd in how it operates. So the cure for humanity must be something that matches it. And that is what the gospel is. It is an answer for an absurd species. It is a story of how God saved humanity through love. We cannot deny that humans love stories. We live for them. We often relax.
I'm a nigger girl, in a nigger's world, life in ghetto. Boyfriend Loretto, he can brush my weave, undress me or leave. I'm here to receive some crabs, conceive some lil fag's imagination. Life is your creation. I'm a nigger girl, in a nigger's world. Fuck me, Richard.
Yeah, thanks for the donation, Fresh Warm Buns.
At the end of the day with a good book or get absorbed in a good show. And after we have finished a good story, we crave more and seek out other good shows or books to enjoy. Stories have inspired humans for millennia. Many from the ancient world have survived to the present, and people still discuss their meaning and significance. It would be hard to deny that we are as stories spend their lives culminate.
Boring and I guess we'll play a boring, dumb video game. I really don't know how long I'm gonna last. This might be painful. I've been having trouble getting through this opening section because it's so bad. My dick's erect donated to liars. What's the best way to avoid endocrine disruptors like xenoestrogens from plastics, phthalates, chemicals? Don't eat meat, dairy, and eggs, and don't use any kind of sex lubricants that have phthalates in them. Those are probably the two best ways. Do you think these compounds are responsible for decreasing testosterone in men? No, not really. So, again, you can find...
Hey VG, this is Braxton Bryant from the chat. I was wondering if any cheap vegan shoes to wear to the gym. Also, could you send a link to your public Discord please? I'd love to be a part of your community. Thank you Daddy VG, keep up the good work nigga.
Already linked it in chat. There you go again. I don't know, dude. Look up cheap vegan shoes. Just Google it. I don't know. Thanks for the donation, Braxton. So, I don't think phthalates or exposure to these forever chemicals is significantly impacting testosterone on average in men. I actually think the big difference you see in testosterone levels from one generation to the next is actually nicotine exposure. But yeah, I'd say avoiding meat, dairy, eggs, and not using sex lubricants that use phthalates. Those are probably the two biggest sources. Yeah, well, play some fucking Cyberpunk, I guess.